Hello and welcome back to HEMA Fight Breakdowns. Today we're going to be talking about this exchange, specifically what my opponent does here in order to get me to relax. So just going over it real quick, we basically tippy-tap each other's swords a couple times, trying to get some hand shots in, but mostly staying out of each other's range. But then something crucial happens right about here. So we've reset to a position where we're both in a more neutral stance, and my opponent does something very subtle but very important with his body. And that is right as he's coming out of this last exchange here, where he's just hit my sword, he comes back and he lifts his foot and he resets it to a neutral position right before throwing a new attack. And what that basically does is it tricks me into thinking that here, given that I've just left the exchange, that I am at a safe position, despite the fact that we're very close. And by throwing a little piece of innocuous footwork, it basically desensitizes me to the idea that my opponent might be committing to an attack soon. And it gives him that crucial quarter of a second he needs to get the tip exactly where it needs. So if we go back and we watch this full thing one more time, it's a lot more easy to see the subtle break in rhythm. So if we look at the rhythm, tap, 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 and then go, what you want to do whenever you're trying to utilize this technique is, one, make note of where your opponent thinks they're safe and what position they like to rest in, and come up with a technique that you can throw that is going to counter the position that they are in. So if you're in this sort of situation and you know that your opponent, every time you exit an exchange, is going to sit there like I do with their left plow and their tip forward, utilize that little break in the momentum, that little break in the pattern, to then throw an attack to the opening that they're not. In this case, I'm down here in my lower left opening, and my opponent here throws an attack in my upper right opening, ensuring that it takes me the maximum amount of time and distance to close that gap with my sword and parry the strike that you're coming in with. This not only ensures that you're attacking when your opponent isn't necessarily paying attention, but you're attacking the one place that they're most vulnerable. It might seem like a bit of a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people in the middle of an exchange will just stop and reset and try to catch their breath. And that is almost always the perfect time to attack, because you know they're going to just try to parry and they're not going to try to attack you back. All right, that's going to be it for today. If you'd like to see your own footage featured on the channel, feel free to send an email over at HEMAFightBreakdowns@gmail.com, and I hope to see you next time.